Sup? It's us. Can everyone?
Hi.
Yes. Sound seems to be working on our end. That's good. Hey everybody. We've got 3 people today. Me, Lydia. Oh, I've got the names wrong.
Oh, I'm Grant.
Yeah, you are Grant. This is Grant. Everyone
So,
say hi to Grant. I
I'm
thought
Grant.
something was wrong.
I mean, Grant and I have pretty similar chaotic energies,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
very similar. No, it's Lydia. But I think
Whoa,
that we're
Lydia, when did you get here?
Hi.
I think that we're going to be joined by DJ later potentially, so you might get a full 4. Also, hello, first-time chatter Azzy. It is nice to see you. We are the Paper Dungeon, and this is Table Scraps. It is a show that we do on Thursdays about a show that we do on Mondays until we get sidetracked. And someone says something, and then we go off on a random tangent, and I probably start talking about either ska, boxing, or a book. And then
Yeah,
everyone looks
Aaron.
at me really weird, and I'm judged harshly by the world.
Ska got brought up twice during my stream.
We're gonna bring it back.
You have ska stands.
Ska never dies. But yeah, I have some obligatory plugs that if I don't do, I'll get fired. So I should probably start with those. Oh, yo, Azzy, you're caught up with the show?
You caught up? No way.
Dang.
That's impressive.
That's a feat.
That is impressive.
I'm not even caught up to the show.
Drew's like, I haven't even been to the past
I've been to every session.
We have, for social media, if you want to see more of us in different ways, or just clips and fun stuff like that, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. TikTok is bumping. Instagram is pretty dang good. Twitter, sometimes we use. If you also aren't in our Discord, what are you doing?
Our Discord is what's bopping.
Our Discord is pumping right now.
It really is.
We've recently been using the voice chat a lot more, which is awesome. So you can get in there, talk with other people on the Discord, or sometimes even talk with us. We love to join in and do stuff. It's awesome. Other than the Discord, we also have our own website where we have a merch store and a bunch of stuff that we haven't updated in a long time, but we will eventually. That is a thing on the docket of stuff to do in the future. And then Lydia also has a store where you can buy her stuff. You can buy shirts. This is a shirt. Look jacked. You can buy shirts, you can buy art, you can buy pillows. Can't buy notebooks anymore. I have one of the only ones ever produced.
It's true. But you can get the pillow. It's
Very
a pink
valuable.
one.
Yeah, you can get a pillow. It's really awesome. Also, important
You
information.
say pillow with an E.
Pillow?
Say pillow.
Pillow?
Hello?
We are sponsored by Regal Rollers. They are a dice makers. They have a Kickstarter going on right now. You should buy their dice.
They're really pretty.
You probably play or enjoy Dungeons & Dragons. Why wouldn't you want more dice? Easy way to do it.
The more the merrier.
It's great. We'll be using their dice on stream eventually. I know that some of us are going to be doing, like, getting additional dice on top of, like, the dice that they're graciously sending us.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that...
I think you got it.
I think that's all.
I think that's like record time too. Well done,
yeah,
Aaron.
that was pretty slick. Like those weren't
That was
bad.
slick. That was smooth. Yeah.
So, first off, what we talk about is the session that happened this past Monday. So if you haven't seen the session this past Monday, there will probably be spoilers about the session this past Monday, which we
Episode 68.
Yep, one away from God's number.
Nice.
True. Drew's like, as a man of God, I don't know if I can.
Drew started to say something and then just decided better not.
It's probably a wise decision. This past episode was a continuation of a combat that happened 2 episodes ago in episode 67. we were fighting a Death Pact Angel, which I'm pretty sure that's a monster out of the one of the Magic the Gathering universes, if I'm remembering my information correct. It's either that or Theros, and I'm not sure exactly which one. But fought it, and then had some really good role play from our two cast members here.
Drew specifically.
Yeah, Drew killed it hard.
I mean,
killed a lot of things, although I technically got the last blow.
You got the last blow on that, so really we should be talking about.
Yeah,
you.
Drew murdered the roleplay encounter.
He did.
That was your true. You divine smited it. It was brutal. It was great.
The critical divine smite.
Yes, Grant also had some spicy moments.
Grant was iconic.
Oh man. Okay, so I have a thing about that, but I want to start chronologically. So once we get back to Tiala,
okay, can I do the episode playthrough?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we fight this Death Pact Angel, blah, 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 blah. There's these ice things shooting out, and then, these meteor, fire things dropping from the skies, land effect things. Tarak goes down, 3 times, and Cather is, Cather went down, too, right? At one point? Yeah. We got him back up, though. Everybody's cool. So then there's Biero and Tiala, and we're trying to get them down while simultaneously fighting the angel, while all these land effect area things are happening as well. Anytime we hit the angel, these pillars are crumbling around us, and it's this big demi-plane void area we're in. So then we finally defeat the freaking angel. We got Biero down. Tiala got out by being polymorphed into bird, and flew over to Edward. And then I go, and then so everything's crumbling around us. We're about to be crushed in this demi-plane. So then we open up Grot's room to the abyss, go into my room, Renaya's room in the abyss, all pile in there. Grot's is in there, and then I forgot. Visine goes to help us finish because we were struggling towards the end.
Yeah, we were all 1 health.
Visine sacrifices himself with this general ability he has, and he's gets full on Thanos, and so then Tarak to preserve Visine a little bit while he's dying, puts him in the pyramid, then we all shimmy on out of the demi-plane, then we're in the abyss. And then we escaped. So now we're in the abyss, and then Cather goes into the little pyramid so that he can go see Visine in his last moments and try to get Visine to live with his gods, because death gods. And so he goes boop in, and then he goes to do Revivify to go talk with his gods, talks to a whole bunch of gods. Amazing role play scene that lasted it was a good long scene too.
It was 45 minutes. I feel I kind of felt bad.
But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Then he tries to convince the gods to let Visine go, and he's gonna give up his place and his heaven kind of thing, and his afterlife with his death gods, so that Visine can have a happy ending, because he's all Visine deserves a happy ending, not me. And then the gods are no, that's not how this works. He made the choice. You gotta respect that choice. And then Cather's okay, I'll respect that choice, but I want to talk to him. They talked. It was sad. Then he the Revivify thing ends, and he holds Visine as he dies. And then Renaya's there in the pyramid, they hug, and then Cather has a really cool line thing, and then he's how do we get out of here? And then he remembers yes, and there's a cute boop, and we boop back out. So then we get back out there, but a minute in the pyramid is 24 minutes outside. So while we were in the pyramid, Edward and Tiala had a thing, and then Tiala kisses Edward, and Edward goes nice, and then Edward keeps rambling, and then goes I love you, and Tiala's no, and then then Grant's really confused because he thought he was rejected when reality was Tiala just wasn't going to say I love you because they'd only been on like one date and things like that, and it was weird. So then there was this whole big scene where she had like her legs on him, and Grant thought that was way deeper than it was. And then and then Tarak is talking with Gratz about, hey, how does this cool dagger thing work of the angels? Can I be immortal? And Gratz is like, you can. These are your things. And Tarak was like, I'm gonna freelance it. Don't worry about it. I'll do like my research. And then Catherine and I get back in the room. Catherine goes to like a workout room to go and just break everything. And then Renaya goes to talk with Gratz about daddy issues. And then Gratz ends up saying like he loves Renaya. Renaya pulls a zone of truth on him. And then he says, I love you again in the zone of truth. And then they kiss and smoochy. And then we go back over to Catherine and Biero. Catherine and Biero in the workout room breaking everything. Biero breaks down. Catherine breaks down. They're crying. More banger lines. And then we end.
That was officially a recap. Well done.
Yes.
That was a full story.
That was officially a recap.
So, if we start on the combat part of that,
Sure.
thoughts?
Yeah, great place to start.
Thoughts. How did you do? How did you think that the party did? How do you think that the combat was overall? Like, what you think?
I thought it was going to be a TPK.
I was actually really like sad that Weizen did his thing because I felt like if I was given a few more rounds, I could have gotten this like further. I don't know how far I could have gotten us, but
see, Lydia, I think the problem with that statement was if we could get a few more rounds. However, when Weizen did what he did, like 2 of us were unconscious.
I know, but I was able, but again, I still had spell slots for mass healing word, so I could still keep you guys like alive kind of deal. And then I had plans for getting the others down, but it was still cool. I think it was actually one of my favorite combats we've ever had.
Interesting.
I thought, personally speaking, I thought overall it was actually a really well balanced fight, which is maybe part of the reason I didn't like it as much. Because, as everybody knows, I love being a superhero. You know, like being the fantasy knight in shining armor. I dig that. I couldn't do that this episode because this thing is resistant to like all my damage.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, which again, overall combat wise, like it was good because like we were like all kind of struggling and like we all had to like really just like lean into each other because otherwise we were going down.
Oh yeah.
Down.
And I think I really enjoyed it because it was like there was other things to do besides just hit her. Like you had to dodge the land effects and make sure you were in a safe area while also simultaneously trying to figure out how to get Biero and Tiala to safety while also being like, we need to protect each other because there's a lot happening around us kind of deal. Then you had to navigate what is this whole pillar situation crumbling thing. So there was options. It wasn't just a hitter kind of deal. And I think that's why I really liked it.
So we have officially encountered the range of interest in this because now I didn't think that the combat was bad, but there was a lot of technical aspects that I think could have been done much better. And that's just like I've DM'd for a very long time. And so like none of it was outright wrong or bad or I'm like, this is horrible, I hated it. But there were some things that it was just like, yeah, deep inside I'm like, I hate everything. DJ's the worst DM I've ever had. Not true.
7 out of 10.
I'm trying to think. There was a couple of things. Oh, one. This is a thing that, and this is an entirely an opinion thing. So like if like DJ does not tend to roll this way, and I don't necessarily like it, but I can't say that it's wrong. All right. It is in my opinion that every enemy disregarding some specific circumstances, should assume that they are undeniably powerful than the party. Like, they're just way better. Especially when it comes to, like, celestials, fiends, like, aberrations. Unless they have put in, like, specific research and they know the full capabilities of the party, they should assume that they are just way stronger than you. DJ does not run monsters like that. DJ runs, like, every monster is always acting as carefully as possible around the party, which is, it's not wrong. I just wouldn't run it that way. And that's one of the things that bugged me. I'm like, there was a moment when she had knocked down both me and Cather, and the two people remaining were Edward and Brenia, obviously. I think Vison was there as well. And then she flew away. And I'm like, why would you do that?
Well, and that's when I think that was another reason why I really liked it, because it's normally Tarak and Cather who are the big carriers of the team. And so this combat felt like it was really a time for Renaya and Edward to get to step up. And so that's why I also really enjoyed it too, because it was different. It was very different than what it normally is.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I'm down with that. Like, we were not going to stand up or anything, but, like, Edward can only hit things that are next to him. So, like, her flying up makes it difficult for at least half of the people who are still standing to do anything.
Yeah, I feel like that was more of a, like, because I didn't have a lot of hit points left, and Edward didn't. Edward's Edward kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a strategic play to let us continue doing things other than fight her, because that's where I think Edward and Renaya's strong suits is in the, like, the more creative uses. So we could like, that gave us a break. It was supposed to kind of give us a break to work on the Tiala Biero situation and get you guys back up without having to worry about, oh shoot, dude, we're gonna die if she cannot be around us and our paladins cannot be down, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I think it was really, like, clever how it was done.
I think that it was fine, but because, so the thing is, right, you could still do those things and it wouldn't have really changed anything, because she flies up, but she has enough speed to just go down and hit you again. It isn't like she's actually out of your range. So it's like, I would have just kept her there just as a thematic point, where it's like, why would she run at this point in time? Why would she retreat? She knows that you're on low hit points. Edward doesn't really have anything that he can do right now. Just from a monsters acting as they would thematically, I dislike the fact that she would fly away every single time, because it's like, what's the real threat here? I am a death-pact angel. I have betrayed the gods. Let me make sure to maintain my distance from someone who's on their last legs and a bard who currently has a light crossbow. It's like...
But the thing is like, we were threats to her.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and I think she was picking up that we weren't, like, because, like, we had tricked her into a trap. We had to retreat to her demi-plane because she couldn't handle us, like, on our own territory, basically. Like, so I think that threat was there. I think it
was there, but then again, all your damage is ranged. So her flying away still doesn't help her.
Yeah, but it makes her, like, not the focus.
I suppose so. As I said, I think it's fine. It's just not how I would have ran it. There were a lot of different things of that combat that I'm like, these things, like the safe zone could have been explained a little better. It took me a little bit to even understand, like, why that was the case, because at first I thought it was a cone effect. The reason that you guys were excluded was because you guys just weren't included in the cone, because it felt to me as though the water was on the same plane, not at, like, a sharp angle. And there was just, and that isn't bad. It's just, like, could have been explained a little better. I still really enjoyed the combat. I thought that everyone did a really incredible job. I think that the combat went very well. Was it my favorite combat? No, I think it could have been done better. It also felt a little bit like we weren't as rewarded for being intelligent players at times. Like, I probably wouldn't have even had this combat, because if my players come up with a sick way to thwart my plans by using some obscure spell like magic circle, I'm so pumped about that as a DM. I'm like, yeah, this puts you in an absolute advantage. This is super a good way to end this combat and show your strength. And then it almost felt like we got punished for doing that, because not only did it fully refill her health, it also took away over half of our spells and abilities. So it's like, haha, you did a smart thing, now you're punished for it.
I can see that, but I also know that there was certain plot elements that needed to happen.
He had to get the thing, but like,
first of all, we needed to get to Tiawa and Biero, and there was no way we were going to be able to do that without her. And then as far as like actually in the the demi-plane thing too, it was like, I think that Vizen going needed to happen as well, kind of deal. Yeah. I feel like that was an important plot element that DJ really wanted as well. And then there's one other thing. I don't remember. But yeah, but I can definitely see, but this is where it just shows like where you and DJ have very different DMing styles. Yeah.
Like I would have just had it been like, normally if a demi-plane is destroyed or something along those lines, if it is created by spell or ability, creatures that are contained within the spell or ability are released within 5 feet of the location of the destruction. So like if you turn a bag of holding inside out, everything goes like that. Same thing if you tear it. Like a lot of different spells. So that's just how I would have done it to get the people back out there. Which is just it's a completely different style of DMing. And as I said, I'm like, I didn't hate it. I didn't even particularly dislike it. I was just like, I feel like this could have been done in a cleaner way. I'm all about that efficiency. But I think that the combat went very well. I think everyone performed their roles very, very well. A little disappointed that Tarak didn't die, but other than that,
don't you worry.
I was trying so hard.
We still got 2 episodes.
We still got 2 more episodes.
Don't you worry about that.
Although supposedly next episode, and this is getting into some of the behind the scenes stuff of what we've talked about just as a group. Supposedly next episode is supposed to be the Siege of Athala.
Oh yeah, no. I'm talking to DJ about that today, so that way I can outline what my plan is. Because
I'm just like, we're a little behind schedule.
No. See, here's the thing. Here's what I think we should do for the Siege of Athala. I think that our characters really shouldn't even be involved in it. I think that we should go try to defeat whatever the big boss is while inside the city. We come back. However, after that episode, we come back. The last episode we have is wrapping up whatever part of the battle is remaining, and then wrapping up the loose ends for the last half. That's how I would do it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think that's what we're gonna do. At least that's what my vote is for.
Smooth it out. I mean,
that's what actually would make sense for the party to do.
So bold claim. I would love if it was just an orcish curb stomp. That would be like my dream. Like if it's just like we let the 6,000 orcs go and we're like, all right, elves, you make sure that they're like this. The other groups don't interfere with this.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna enter the city. We come back and it is just misery for like miles, and it's like we win. There's like 8 orcs still alive. That's the goal. Is that like everyone is dead, and then there's like 8 orcs, and it's like, sup, we did it, victory. And it also takes place over the course of like 6 hours at most. It's like because Athala has been built up as this like impenetrable fortress, and then it's like 6,000 orcs show up, and it's like, yeah, we can crack that out in an afternoon. I would love it so much. I don't know if that's how it would go, but I think it would be like kind of hilarious, but also incredibly traumatizing. Where it's like, oh god, oh, what is this? This isn't war. What is this? And the orcs are like, nah, bud, This is war. This is how we do it. Oh, it would be so good. Anyway, combat happens. We escape.
All the moon elves are just like literally like, all of them are just like,
God.
What is going on?
Oh, Pantheon, help us. That man just stuck his hand through another person's chest and ripped him in half. Oh my God. Just like afterwards, the elves are like, we're gonna need to pay for so many psychologists because people are not okay. They need help. They need therapy. I saw it from a distance and I'm not okay. I think it would be great. Anyway, we defeat Death Pact Angel. Escape through the door. Things occur. I mean, first of all, great role play. Because Drew, you were the majority of it. I'm gonna ask you thoughts. Like, what were your thoughts, opinions, emotions, feelings? Who are you?
Well, oh boy. Let's see. Scared, anxious, terrified, sad.
Nice.
Those were the emotions.
What were you kind of expecting to happen?
I don't know, to be honest, because
Okay.
like basically because we went on to break, and I texted DJ, I was like, okay, hey, I'm gonna try to make a trade, and he's like, interesting, okay. I was like, great, that sounds terrifying.
Drew.
Yes.
How close were you to going Oathbreaker?
Oathbreaker, I honestly not as close as it seemed, and that's on a technicality, because the thing is, right, Oathbreaker would imply I have no oath. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have just kind of swapped.
But the thing is, yeah, like the only way I became an Oathbreaker is if like Orgal said no to Cather a second time, and Cather felt like he could keep pushing the point and get what he wanted out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which really, like, I knew was not gonna happen. Like, Drew knew that was gonna happen, so I wasn't really gonna push Oathbreaker that much. Now, when I said it in the episode, like, if you don't do this for me, then you lose me. Then I will. Then I'm like, crap.
Oh no!
What am I saying? I don't want to become.
I think it was so funny when you were like, you had such a you were like really in the conversation. You go, "Oh crap! Didn't think I'd get this far."
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Oh, I didn't think that'd work. Okay.
Yeah, and so then like I get to have the conversation with the minor moon god. I can't remember his name right now.
Dave.
Hold on, I might have written it down.
I know I wrote it down, but I'm not gonna look through my notebook right now. And basically,
Virion.
yeah, thank you. Yes, Virion. And he asked me, he's like, hey, so I'll give you back Bison, but in exchange you have to fight for me in the afterlife. I'm like, okay.
Oath of conquest. Oath of
that's
conquest.
Basically
oath of conquest.
that's just basically changing who I'm devoted to, because it's just like the whole idea of part of the whole reason that Cather is even an Oath of Destiny Paladin is for like what he gets in the afterlife out of it, right? Mm-hmm. That's like it in a way. Cather's very selfish, actually, because his main driving purpose is the idea that when he dies, he can have like just a peaceful afterlife. Which is also why it's such a big deal that he was willing to give it up for Bison. So, and that's like one of his main kind of bonds to just the gods of death in general. And so like the idea that is like, okay, instead of that, you're not only giving up that afterlife, but instead you were gonna work for a different god, completely different god. And it's just like, you know, that's a really tempting offer, actually. And I had to sit and ponder it for a second because I'm like, okay, hold on, would I do this? Is this a good idea? Is this a really bad idea? I mean, man, am I really prepared to give up my subclass? Oath of Destiny's so cool though, man. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, it doesn't like it makes sense to be like a tempting offer for Cather because he cares about Visine that much. But after taking a couple moments, I knew he wouldn't do it, especially after talking to Visine. I knew he wouldn't do it just because like he respects Visine is one of the few people Cather respects enough to say, okay, I don't like the choice you made, but I'm gonna respect that it's the choice you made because I respect you, and I'm not gonna choose to go against that. And they're no offense to the party, but I can't even necessarily say that for most of the party. I'm like if it came down to it, like sure most things, but like a big decision like that, like for instance, like if I think either Renaya or Edward decide to do something similar, Cather would do everything that he would strongly disagree and go against it and do something to change that.
Interesting.
I think Tarak at this point has earned Cather's respect enough.
I die. Let me die.
Yeah,
let him live.
Oh yeah, so Hal's in chat and was like, I'm a sucker for corruption arc, so I was super happy. I was actually talking with Hal, and they were talking about like how cool it would have been if you had gone Oathbreaker and how much they love that concept of like Cather specifically going dark.
See, and the thing is, right? So the interesting thing is, it was more likely for me to choose to go Oathbreaker. However, story-wise, it made less sense. Because if it was like a thing of like, I had to, in order to save Visine, I fully revoked the Gods of Death and just became and I wasn't like becoming a paladin for a different deity. If I was just revoking that, then it was actually pretty likely that he would go for it. Actually, I would say it's like a 50-50 chance, honestly. Because Oathbreaker. Side note: Oathbreaker, super cool subclass. Honestly, still tempted.
Edgelord.
But the problem is, Oath of Destiny is just so cool late game.
It is.
That it's just really hard for me to give up.
That's fair.
Like, there's a lot of really cool abilities, guys. I can't you know what? Why not? I'll just tell you guys. I don't think I've ever done this before.
No, don't spoil it. Since it's a homebrew, it's so cool to see it like as it comes. It's your secrets, Drew.
Internally.
That's fair. That's
so
fair. You know what? Someday.
I
was less excited for Oathbreaker than I was for if you switched gods, because like then you get the thematic elements of Oathbreaker. Because in all honesty, the actual Oathbreaker subclass, I'm not as like from a like ability standpoint, I'm not as interested in.
Right.
But
yeah. Like mechanically speaking, it's not necessarily as good, but it's the thematic aspect.
Is so cool.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you switch gods, if you're like, yes, Moon Elf General Minor God person, I would love to work for you in the afterlife. You just yeet yourself into Oath of Conquest, which is sick. That class is rad. And then you're like, and then you also get the like, so guys, I've abandoned my gods. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, here I am. I'm an Oathbreaker without the downside. It would be awesome.
Well, yes, and Oath of Conquest would have been really cool too. That Oath of Conquest is definitely my up there for me for paladin subclasses.
It's so cool.
It's real sick. But yeah, like in regards to like story and what would make sense for Cath to do, it was less likely for him to switch subclasses than it was for him just to break his oath in general. You know. Yeah.
So then, Vyzen dies because you accept his decision.
Yep, he gets Thanos stabbed.
Yep. Lydia Renaya enters into the pyramid. Spends some time with Cather. Your guys' thoughts
Cather
on...
delivers a sick line.
Does.
Yeah, there's some banger lines. That is certainly one. It's the like...
It was the every
"Feel
blow.
the weight of our pain with every blow." Like that kind of thing.
They will know the sacrifices that we have made because they will feel it with every because they will feel it with every blow that we.
It was cooler the first time he said it.
Yeah, you know, it was in the moment. It was in the moment. It was clean.
It was real good. It was real good. I like that was totally.
It was a good line. It was a good line. Yeah.
Those
but yeah,
quality ones.
I was like, Vyzen's gonna die, and I was like, Renaya would know. Renaya's like, because Renaya also did I can't remember what it's called, but where it tells you what the results are.
Augury.
Yeah. And when it was both good and bad, I was like, this is it. This is my prediction. Because I predicted way in the beginning, I was like, Vyzen's gonna die.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't
Like, there's no,
Vyzen's
Vyzen's gonna die. So I was like, all right, Vyzen's gonna go in this. And then, so I was like, I don't want Cather to be alone when it happens. But I also was like, Cather breaks things a lot, so I'm gonna keep a distance and just let him do his thing, but I'll be there if he needs it. And
it's a really poor way for him to like release his pent up anger and stress. Breaking things is not a good way to do that.
That's okay. Renaya does it too sometimes, so we'll just have a break room. Like, you know, like we'll have a break room in the abyss. Or in like we'll make like a home base. We'll have a break room.
Well, you know those like there's like businesses that like
exactly. That's what I'm exactly talking about.
A room filled with like glass bottles and stuff. And just give you a sledgehammer.
Yeah, specifically just everything to be broken.
Bold claim. I would not enjoy that.
I wouldn't either. I'd be too scared.
I like breaking things. Just doesn't have that much catharsis for me.
Well, yes, for me,
rage room. Yeah,
I would not. I would not enjoy it either. Cather, though. Cather would.
Oh, Cather's absolutely I'm going to break stuff and then feel better. Me, I just go to sleep. Both Tarak and I are like, this sucks. I'm so angry.
Well, Cather can't sleep, so.
Oh, yeah. Sucks for you, buddy. But yeah, so you two have that interaction. Meanwhile, back on the in the abyss, hanging out with Grotz, Edward and Tiala have it may be the most awkward interaction in the show up until this point.
Which is impressive.
I think that very well may be the case. Oh my god, it's Grant. He's in the chat right now.
Hi, Grant. We're talking about you.
Let's see. Now, would some of the early interactions between Cather and Melora be more awkward?
I think that one was awkward in like the cute way.
Yeah,
this one was awkward in the like. This one was awkward in like a really like well played awkward, but it was awkward.
It's just awkward.
Yeah, yours is like a high school romance awkward, where you're like, I really like you. Do you want to like go to the dance? And she's like, what? Like one of those like, it's awkward, but it's like, oh, that's cute. Edward's.
But it was so perfect for Edward, though.
Nice.
It was so spot on. Gosh, when he just blurted out, "I love you," I think I'm in love. It's like
I love you. It's like I love hanging out with you,
spending time with you. And then Grant's like, did I just get rejected? And we're like, no, but you just said I love you to a girl you've known for like 3 days. Oh gosh, I love it. I loved that so much. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I wish that this would work a little better for me. Bold statement: relationship's not lasting.
I mean,
Not all. It's not happening.
I don't know.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I don't think I can. I don't know, because I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know.
So here's the thing. So, interaction-wise, I think that Edward is looking for a longer-term, classic romance thing. I think that Tiala simultaneously moves way too fast and way too slow for Edward. I think that Edward was expecting, a progression of, yeah, we go on 7 dates, and now we, like an anime love story where it's we make it through the whole season, and the season finale is them holding hands. That type of romance where it's we go on dates, we talk, we hang out, we really get to know each other, then we maybe slowly jumping right into the kissing and the physical touch. I think is way too fast for Edward. I don't think he makes it through the time skip.
Interesting.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not who I expected would be paired up with Edward.
Yeah, I don't think it lasts. I think she's way too typical bard in a lot of ways, which is hilarious. It's that's super a stereotypical bard move. The I just kiss her out of nowhere. I absolutely think that's what it is.
She has more fling energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. Now there's obviously a chance that Grant's I would like this relationship to continue. I don't think it'll happen though. I don't think.
Maz, I think you're right. Either they get married or they just after the first year it stops.
Yep. I don't even know if they'll
that'd
make
be
it a year.
interesting.
I think they make it 6 months.
6 months.
I think they make it 6 months, and then Edward's this is progressing way too fast. This is way too fast for me. I need time to do my own stuff. I am a politician now. Let's just call it off. Maybe we can check back later. I don't think it's a negative ending, but I don't think that they last.
Yeah, because what I get from Edward is Edward very much wants to have that. Hi, Bear. Edward very much wants to have that, but I think his priorities lie elsewhere. He puts his priorities elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I think that he would love the idea of a lot of physical touch and stuff like that. I just think that he wants it in a slower, more natural way.
Yeah.
Now obviously Grant is listening to us and is currently in the chat and could confirm or deny these things, but he's not. So I'm just going to assume that I hit the nail on the head. Clearly I'm correct. Bingo sheet with the Aaron is wrong square still unfilled. Yeah, the interaction itself, regardless of how it turns out in the future, I think was incredible.
Oh, it was so funny.
Because it's in that kind of jurisdiction, Edward is still very childish, where he's just I think I love you, and she's what?
It was very in character for Edward.
So good.
I have no words to share. Everything is a mystery.
Classic Grant. Classic Grant. But yeah, I thought that interaction was great. Tarak got to talk to Grotst a little bit while Edward and Tiala were canoodling in the corner. And so that was fun. First of all, I love that before we escape through the portal, after we beat the Death Pact Angel, Tarak's I've got an action. Before,
I thought, Aaron, I thought the same thing, but I'm you know what? I'm just leaving. I'm just leaving.
Just Tarak being no, I just mushed this thing into a puddle. Give me a second.
I've got 6 seconds.
With, an armful of feathers.
All right, let's go.
Knife. He's okay. I love that. I don't know. I'm excited to see what terrible disease I can make with angel feathers.
Oh gosh.
Who knows? Who knows what I can do? Maybe it's a god killing disease for all I know. I'm pumped about it.
I really hope that we don't have to do that at some point.
I would love to kill God.
Although, see, here's the thing, right? So, if we're supposed to be fighting Arcfey, and Arcfey can fight gods, then in theory, we could fight gods.
Absolutely.
I don't like this.
I love it. So here's my prediction. I think that all of this, that this entire story is being manipulated by some form of celestial entity.
I agree.
That is my prediction. And that means that we've got to fight a celestial entity. I am so down to kill. Any story where we end up killing God is my favorite story. I think awesome.
Now I think it's more likely to be it's being manipulated by like an Arcfey. But yes.
No. Because the Arcfey are being manipulated. Who would they be manipulated by? Not another Arcfey. They'd be manipulated by the gods to put them in a war against people because the gods don't like the Arcfey. So they would want to put them in a bad situation. I am so excited to force a god into submission and take his place.
Well, okay, so we know this because we know that the Arcfey are being manipulated by like the 13 mage group people, right? Mm-hmm. And those people have some sort of leader. We don't know who that is.
God.
Now, in my mind, it doesn't make much sense for it to be a god when they're... Because that just feels very messy to me, because it's just like, we literally have, like, why would a god be manipulating people to manipulate Arcfey to fight other gods?
Because they don't like the other gods.
I don't know. I don't have enough information yet.
Absolutely. I think that this is a long... Dude, wouldn't it be crazy if it was like... if it was like the mother goddess? Could you imagine that?
Lanantari?
Yeah, if it was Lanantari, she shows back and she's like... Because so the first time she like makes all these people, she like leaves for a little bit. She comes back, everything is terrible. And she's like... I'm just gonna erase this and start over, put up some new gods in place. Then she like giddy ups on out of there, comes back, she's like, this is still terrible, let's just redo it. I'm gonna start putting these people against each other. I'm gonna manhandle it from the start to finish, gonna remold the world. I would love to kill the mother goddess.
No. Beards and Battle Axes is onto something. In the end, it was all pockets playing reality like a fiddle.
Mm-hmm. And you know where he learned to play that fiddle? Edward.
Edward's BBEG confirmed.
Basically, I'm ready to bag the position of God. I've got the Mortem Blade. It's all in place now. There's only two ends to this story. It's either A, Tarak dies, B, Tarak becomes God. that's the endings that I foresee here. Because it's so good. I don't even know what it would just be great. I think I love stories where standard people go up against the gods. Those are like my favorite stories all the time. Doesn't matter what mythology it is. Anytime that, because gods are overall kind of jerks a lot of the time in most mythology. And then they'll like be chill for a little bit and someone will be like, oh, awesome, I've got the favor of a god. Then they get immediately betrayed. And I love it because they go, all right, bet. You're going to cause me to straight up kill my family members? Guess you're getting yeeted. I love it. That's like my favorite. The I can't remember the name of them. But there was like the Mesopotamian story where he like fights Tiamat or something like that. They basically send down someone to kill this guy who's like way too good. I'm pretty sure it's Gilgamesh, the story of Gilgamesh. So this guy, they're like, all right, we're gonna send you down, you go kill Gilgamesh. Doesn't work, but Gilgamesh doesn't kill the guy and they become best friends. All right. And then the gods are like, well, that didn't work. We're going to kill the guy that we sent down to kill Gilgamesh. So they kill him, and Gilgamesh goes, what the crap? Screw you. And that goes on this like epic journey. And he's not even like a demigod. He's just like, sup, I'm Gilgamesh. I'm the best ever. And just like wrecks havoc. Like, it's awesome. Gilgamesh, I'm a Gilgamesh stan for sure.
Aaron is a Kratos.
Dude, story of Kratos just being like, yeah, man, I'm like one of the servants of the God of War, and then the God of War is like, your family is holding you back from being good at your job, so I'm gonna kill him. And Kratos is like, screw you. Well, guess you're gonna die now. Love it so much. So I hope that we get a fight god. I don't care which one it is. Like, it can be a minor god, it can be an elvish god, it can be, heck, if it turns out that gosh dang Malice is the villain, I'm down to fight Malice. I'll feel bad about it.
I'll feel bad
about it while it's happening. But like, nah, dog. I'm in it to win it. Looks like I'm becoming the next god of gosh dang Arcana and Nature. That's what I do. or is it the Forge and Arcana domain?
Forge and Arcana.
I always assume that he's Nature. Because his head looks like a tree.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, could you imagine Tarak as a god?
Well, see, although DJ already confirmed that, like, at 20th level, like, paladins are kind of, like, already, like, minor gods.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, pretty much anyone at 20th level is at that power level. Yeah. Like, to just be like, I could be a god if I really wanted to. The beauty about Tarak, though, is that although he has gods that he calls upon, they aren't actually the things empowering his strikes. It is willpower. It is like the orcish collective will. That is what fuels him. So it's like he gets to that level, and it isn't like, yes, my child, I shall adopt you into the pantheon. He's just like, I'm here now, and there's nothing you can do. And I love it. Him as a god, his like followers are like, oh, Tarak, god of mercy and violence.
Mercy.
Please descend. Grant me your boon. And Tarak just calls down. He's like, so, what's this about? What's going on here? And they're like, you talk to your fathers? And he's like, do other gods not talk to the people who call them? Like, just a super like casual. He doesn't know like the things that you're supposed to do.
Like, he's just he just like shows up in a giant beam of like light and energy. He's just like, it's like, who dare call upon the power of Tarak? And he just like, and then like all the energy fades, and it's just Tarak there. He's just a dude.
Oh, there's no beam of light. They're just like, Tarak, come to my aid. And he just like walks over. He's like,
yeah, what's up?
I live over there. Like, he doesn't live on Mount Celestia.
I live in the shed behind the temple.
He's like, we have a doorbell. Like, you could just knock. Like, people keep yelling at me, and you could just be like, hey, man, can I come in? Like, we have food. Do you want food? And they're like, we're fighting a war. And he's like, is that a no for the food?
Honestly, this is what I'm most excited for come late game, assuming that we all survive. Okay, assuming all four of us make it to level 20.
It's a bold assumption.
Hey, look, like, might not happen, might happen. This is basically what we're gonna have. We're gonna basically have a minor god of fate, a minor god of death
mercy and violence.
Mercy and violence. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a divine fiend of
Queen of Hell.
free will. We're gonna have the Queen of the Abyss, and then we're gonna have a bard.
It's just Edward. He's just still Edward.
He's still always and forever Edward.
He's still always and forever Edward. Is
like,
just
he has
just a dude.
Like, he has titles. Like, he has. Like,
yeah,
he's
but
like,
20th level,
Edward,
he's Lord of
he's
Athala, Lord of Akhlaron,
like,
Duke of Athala,
something or other, Master of Combat, and then but like,
yeah,
we all get introduced.
Member of the Grand Church.
we all get like introduced. Like, there's this like council of heroes, and we all get called up, and everyone's introduced, and it's like, this is Tarak, empty sky, God of mercy and violence, descended from and it like goes through the whole thing, and then it's like, and this is Edward, the bard, and he's like, I gave you a paper to say all of my titles, and they're like, we lost it. So he's like, oh man, he just like goes to see. I love it.
Oh my God. Honestly, I would kind of feel bad in the moment, but it'd be so hilarious
No, it'd
if
be
that
so
happened.
good.
Like
That's so
like
on brand.
like we come back from like the break, and like all like the party is summoned to like this grand council. It's just like, yes, Fate's Gambits members including Tarak, Open Sky, Cather, Herald of Fate, Renaya, Queen of the Abyss, and Edward.
All members of Fate's Gambit. And then the next one is welcome, Lavar. the group exactly after us is Destiny's Gamble.
It's just exactly like right after that. It's like, and welcome, Destiny's Gamble.
Yes, Lavar. We don't know what you do. Lavah, Lavar. And then there's what was like Edmund.
But Edmund's the like leader.
The leader.
Edmund's
like,
amazing at everything.
Edmund, God Counselor. Goes through it. He has almost the exact same titles as Edward, but Edward's just aren't announced.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Have we fully established who all the members of Destiny's Gamble are?
I think it just keeps growing.
I know Ronnie is mine.
Mm-hmm.
We got Edmund. Lavar.
Melancina.
Pretty sure Tarax is Carrot.
Yep, Carrot.
Carrot, and then I feel like Cather's was Katie, but I'm not 100% on that one.
I would love if the person in Destiny's Gamble to represent Cather is just gender bent Cather.
Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy. Oh my God, it's so Kathy. And she's also shredded.
Oh, 100%.
So it's basically just, if Cather was just Captain America.
Yeah, it's just gender bent.
Kathy's.
It's just gender bent Cather.
It's just Captain Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love it. I would love it so
100%.
much. She's also a sun elf. Just to fulfill the opposites area, but personality-wise, exact same. Unlike the rest of us.
And she's like an oath of like vengeance paladin.
She's an oath of life.
Oath of life.
Oath of life. Her gods just can't stand the death gods.
She follows Lanantari.
Yep, Lanantari. The big bad. The big bad of this story. I can only assume is Lanantari.
Yes.
Oh man.
That'd be funny.
But anyway, back to the actual episode.
Yes,
after that stuff happens, Tarak talks to Grotz, and he makes a bet. And so my favorite thing is, I can imagine it in my head about that specific moment, is that like they go through the portal, and like Tarak and Grotz are sitting next to each other, like across like the short side of a table. And then Grotz just goes, $20, they kiss. And Tarak's like, I'm gonna lose this bet, but I'll take it. And it's just an immediate like gold slide. Loved it.
I thought that was
then y'all come back, and Cather has his I'm just gonna cry and break things moment. And it's very heartfelt. And Renaya goes and talks to her boyfriend.
I did.
Thoughts, opinions, future context, and things that you think are going to happen, things that have happened. What all led up to this?
What were you going to say, Drew?
No. Go. You go first.
No, you go first. I want to hear. No, please.
It's your moment.
What were you going to say?
You have to say. You have to do your thing first.
Well, I have a lot of things, so say your thing.
Well, no. Go ahead. It's your moment. You need to speak first.
Guys, we have an hour.
I spoke first at my moment.
Like, you can do both.
Yeah, we can do both. I just think Lydia should go first because it's her moment.
Okay. I was really hoping that would happen. That was exactly what I was going for. I was like, I'm going to find a way to make this happen.
Also, bringing up his dad, low blow.
Dude, I needed to get it established at some point. It was like
His dad was Asmodeus, or his dad was the worst person on the planet.
Well, here's the thing: is like it's been brought up multiple times where like Gratz has been really like, don't like my dad. He's a jerk. Like, don't like him, kind of deal. And I'm always sitting there and I'm like, well, this is Renaya brain, and Renaya's brain works in very simple things, and this doesn't make sense because if like Gratz and his dad both fall under the fiend category and are supposed to kind of do very similar things, like why doesn't he agree with that kind of deal? And so it was just a first of all, like Renaya's confused because also there's all the stuff that like the party is like, well, he's a fiend, like you can't trust him, blah 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 blah. He's a demon prince, for goodness sake, Renaya, blah 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 blah. And that she's kind of like, oh, phooey, but then it was kind of like a, well, hold on a minute, what's going on here kind of deal. But it was also cool too because first of all, I didn't expect DJ to go so hard on the monologue. Like that was epic.
That's what happens when you bring up someone's terrible family life.
I need to bring it up more often then, because that was amazing. And then it was really fun too, because like I was, and I've been talking to my mom about it. I'm like, I'm gonna be really, really sad if we get through this time jump thing. And did my thing glitch out?
Yes, but you're back.
Okay. Well, I was telling my mom, I'm like, I was gonna be really, really sad if we got to the time jump and like I love you wasn't said. Because I was like, because that would have happened over the time jump, like, and when we pick up kind of thing, it wouldn't make sense for, I wanted it to be a moment that like audience got to witness kind of thing.
And it also makes sense, like if you plan on furthering the relationship over the time skip, there should be some like push off point for that.
So I was trying to like plant seeds for it to happen, and then DJ rocked it. And then, and I had been planning on using Zone of Truth the whole time. Like, I've had that planned for a while now. But the reason I rolled was because the monologue was so good. I was like, oh crap. I was like, oh crap, that was a really good monologue. Okay, let me see how she's doing. And then I literally rolled a nat 1. And I was like, all right, now I gotta stick with my guns. I gotta make her do the Zone of Truth thing.
Which, that's rough. Could you imagine in real life?
Dude, no, it was real rough.
So I have been very slow on the Gratz train. I felt bad for Gratz when you did that.
That hurts.
I know. I felt like, so awful doing it.
Lays out his
I know,
heart,
but here's the deal.
and
And this is another thing I talked with my mom about. I went on a whole big conversation with my mom about it too, because I was like, the thing, like, it was brutal. Like, I agree, that was a brutal thing for Renaya to do. But I'm also like, it makes so much sense that Renaya did that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, and what I was telling my mom about it was, I was like, the thing was, it wasn't that she didn't trust Gratz with it. The problem was she fully believed Gratz. And that she can't trust, because she can't trust herself kind of deal. And so it wasn't a, like, yeah, I don't believe you. It's a, like, I fully believe you and I'm scared that I do. So yeah.
But oh man, could you imagine real life, like your significant other is like, hey, so what's the deal with your parents? And you have this like terrible backstory with your parents. You bare your soul to the world, you bring it up, and then she's like, wow, thank you for that. Would you mind repeating this while attached to a
lie detector?
Yeah, to a lie detector. And you're like, I mean, yes.
Well, and that was the whole thing, was like, it wasn't his like family situation that she needed to hear. She just needed to hear the I love you part. She just needed to know that was true.
But oh man, that's like,
yeah, it was.
Every every person who has ever imagined being in a relationship went, oh,
Yeah. It was
like,
it
oh, that
it
cuts
was it was a rough one, but like she had to do it.
That's going to be one of those things that is brought up in fights 30 years from now, like between
100%.
Renaya and Gross.
Well, because that's the
Where he's
thing
like,
that.
well, at least I didn't have to cast a truth spell on you
But
to
that's the
believe that
thing.
you loved me.
That's the thing that I think I think even I forget a lot is just how much crap Renaya's been
Oh,
through
yeah.
and how much that's affected her. Because it's like she can't like.
Mhm.
That was my whole thing. Was I was like, there's no way she's gonna believe somebody when they say I love you to her.
Absolutely.
There's no way at this point she can believe that without something else to confirm it, kind of deal.
I
And
loved it. I thought it
Yeah.
was brilliant. Now it hurt still on the inside, but it's one of those things, right, where you're like, the fact that this had to happen is almost worse than the fact that it did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just sad all around.
Yeah. But I mean, but the thing was first of all, him accepting the zone of truth.
Mm-hmm.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Then him saying it again without like pausing, without any hesitation, kind of deal. Renai was like, "Oh crap! Oh no! This is
Weeps.
oh."
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It
Well
broke my
done.
heart and like mended my heart all at the same time.
Chat does have a fantastic point. Could you imagine if he didn't pass the zone of truth?
I can't. Dude, that would have been horrible.
How much? And it's like, the question is, would it have passed before you cast the spell?
No, wait, is it passed as in like he accepts the zone of truth but can't say it, or he just doesn't accept the zone of
No,
truth?
he like accepts the zone of truth, but then he says, "I love you," and you know that he's lying.
Ooh.
That would have been rough, because then you're thinking, it's like, is sudden? Was the first "I love you" true? Then when he saw that I didn't trust him, was that the tipping point? And you have to live with that question.
Oh God, that's horrible. Oh no. Well,
Oh,
and
man.
but that's because that's one of the things that I really didn't want to lose with Renaya, was I didn't want to lose that there's some stuff she still hasn't healed from.
Yeah, girls got problems.
Girl's got problems, and she hasn't really had time to work through them.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say,
come back from 3-year break, and she's gonna be a completely different person.
Can I have a
But I will
sick
say,
corset?
like,
I don't know why. I just imagine her in a corset.
I will say though, like, the zone of, like, her doing the zone of truth, him accepting it, and then him being able to truthfully say I love you in the zone of truth, that was a huge healing thing for Renaya.
Oh yeah.
100%. She healed a little. She healed a bit that day.
Just a tad. Invisible health points have been added.
Yeah.
So Drew, what was the thing you were going to say?
Yeah, what were you
before
going to
Lydia's
say?
thing?
Well, I already said it actually.
Oh.
With the zone of truth thing, like, dude, I felt so bad for Gratz.
I felt bad too.
I was like, really, Lydia, really? And yeah, as you said, it makes sense for Renai to do it, but man, it still sucks.
Yeah, just because you had
really
to doesn't
sucks.
mean that it doesn't hurt.
I know. I know. I feel so bad too, because it's just like, Renaya didn't want to. Like, she didn't want, because she knows she has not used Zone of Truth since, like, she realized just how much distrust that put. But yeah, she was.
I mean,
it was
I think
like,
it would have been cut way shorter than it should have if you hadn't have used Zone of Truth.
Oh, she had to. Like, that had to happen.
That was just a necessary thing. Still hurt, and that's what made it so good. is that you did it, and then we were like,
I know.
like and every person in the audience felt Grost's pain at that exact moment. That's just good acting.
I know.
Like, that's just well done. But
And I loved how DJ played it too, because when Grott's response was like, "What?" Like, he's just very angry, like, "What?" It was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "I'm so sorry."
my heart.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It was great. So that, I mean, so obviously after that we go to the Catherine and
to the break room.
Yeah, to the break room. They've got coffee. The jar is broken. And you guys are just lifting. Just lifting hard.
Yep, that's one way to put it.
This was potentially the last like hour of the show last Monday was perhaps one of the most, you can easily parallel this to life role play we've ever had, where it's just like, I'm so angry, I'm going to lift weights and throw things.
Yep.
Like, yep. There are so many people who can relate to that exact mentality of like, well, looks like I'm doing bench press today. Then they get jacked. That's the turning point. This is so many people's awakening.
See,
Hal, we're fighting Rennie's ex-husband outside Arby's.
That's the perfect place to fight anyone, in all honesty, because they're not going to do anything. It's Arby's.
And so
they have the meat.
And I just now realized something though. And this is mainly something I have to try to think through for the 3-year break, because it's definitely not going to be something that fully processes with Catherine until after the war is over.
Mm-hmm.
Boys, speaking of trauma that needs to get worked through, our boy's got some trauma. That he's getting worked
What? No.
through.
What?
Cather? No.
No. You.
No. You got the wrong guy.
But
he's so. And you.
But
and
then
Cather?
trauma?
No.
What?
No.
Drew. What?
Crazy.
You
silly
dog.
goose. No way. Anyway, so what's his trauma? Spill the
about
tea.
This trauma. We know.
Well,
what the trauma
I was just going to explain how this is now the 3rd time he's lost a close friend / ally. With like there being nothing he can do about it.
Is that including Melora or not?
Yes, that's including.
Well, you don't get to include that. You don't remember losing her.
Oh. See, here's the thing. It's still there.
The pain is there.
Still happened. The pain is still there. Because see, here's the thing, right? Lost Havel, and like that was like almost like a freak accident.
DJ's ready.
Oh, hey, DJ's ready. Congrats.
Keep talking.
Then,
I'm gonna switch to the break screen while you talk.
Loses Melora. Now, granted, he doesn't remember necessarily Melora as well anymore, but he understands enough of the context. Plus, he still remembers he knows what Melora meant to her, and he knows that like she meant enough for him to challenge an Arcfey about it, because he still remembers that, that happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward, we're in the war, and then he loses his best friend. So,
yeah.
I just, I'm just saying, maybe this might happen. I don't know if it will happen. Also, hello, DJ.
Yeah.
Unless DJ, can you hear us?
I just muted him just in case he didn't know that they can hear us right now.
Ooh, there he is.
So they can all hear us right now. I muted him just in case you didn't.
I had to switch from my phone to my.
All right.
Computer. Hi, friends.
Hi, DJ.
Sorry, I'm so late. Things took. This traffic is terrible.
Facts. No printer. We're talking about Cather trauma right now.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Also,
I like Catholic trauma. I like traumatizing people.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it.
Yeah, you do. Like a loser.
No, you signed up for this. You agreed to it.
I will neither confirm nor deny such
Yeah,
action.
exactly. Yeah, whatever.
Um,
I have
But
to do some
honestly-
editing here real quick.
I feel
DJ,
like
do you have a spoon in your back pocket?
No.
That's where that went.
Oh my god!
Yes, I do. It's not a used spoon. It's a clean spoon, but yeah. Anyways, I can just don't need that anymore.
anyway,
Haha, we're back. You can see us now.
as I was saying, anyway, I feel like Catherine's gonna actually have a bit of trouble returning to the party after the break.
Sorry, I'm still not over the spoon.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
no, I can understand that. That's gotta be like that's gonna be intense, man.
Simple solution. Just don't go back.
Just don't.
Easy.
Cath-
Just leave.
Catherine just leaves, and we never see him again.
Yeah.
He becomes the new BBEG.
100%.
valid.
He's gonna join up with the final boss, which is the mother goddess, Lanantari. And I know. Look, I can see through all plans, DJ. We're gonna fight God. And it's gonna be great.
Although, I mean, apparently DJ's changed his plans twice because of you, Aaron. So
Oh, but not the end goal. It's always been Lanantari from the start. It's been her the whole time.
Sure, yeah. it's fun and
But-
fun, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I
DJ.
know, I can read.
We've all been through the whole episode, so now you gotta go through the whole episode.
Okay,
Thoughts and opinions on the episode. Go.
great, awesome.
What? No, I was asking you. Let's start with the combat. What do you think of the combat?
Combat was okay. I gotta be more mean. You know,
More.
I gotta have less sympathy for you guys.
We've all had such different opinions on this combat. It's
single one
kind of
us has had
hilarious.
A different answer to this question.
It's fine. I don't know. The combat was just fine. I was telling Lydia that I want to work on a little more RP during the combat.
Mhm.
So having the villain be a little more like vocal and interactive. Especially since this person, like the Deathback Angel, didn't say vocally a single thing aside from releasing the circle and the one time she casted command, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Also, are you sure that you're on the right microphone?
he's not.
wait for it. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm like, this seems a bit.
I do such a good job.
Oh.
I've been like turning off the microphone itself, like the interface,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not always on. But then I forget about it, so I have to remember to turn it on. So yeah, the combat was just fine. Obviously, the zhuzh of the episode was after the combat.
The
you know.
zhuzh. That is certainly a term.
Spice.
The spice of life, you know.
The salt.
The salt bay, exactly. I absolutely loved Edward and Tiala. Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
We don't
That
see them
sent me to the
lasting.
moon and back. I absolutely love that. I was
we-
not expecting
What's the
daddy
command?
issues.
Oh, yep, got it. Never mind.
What was that?
Sorry, I wasn't
You're
sure if I put in
wanting
the right
Hal
command.
to pay
Well,
for
I'm just saying, if
corrupted
you've got
Cather.
the card out.
What?
No.
Oh, look,
We'll
I'm
get
the
there.
I'm the
DJ
shill
will
guy.
get there.
I'm
We'll
the
get there,
shill
DJ.
guy. I'm the one who is the like, yeah, send us your payments.
Except you're also not.
I'm the DM who can be bribed.
That's true.
So anyway, I wasn't expecting the daddy issues.
no
Hey.
one was.
That was
No
interesting.
one was.
Never
Uh,
expect daddy issues.
You never expect daddy issues until
I wasn't
right
expecting the
on.
monologue. What a banger. Anyway, keep going.
Well, you can't. Here's the thing, yeah. Like, I was debating. I was like, okay, you're gonna have one of two reactions: either the I'm not gonna talk about this and not deal with my trauma type thing, or I'm gonna get angry and like angrily explain why I'm traumatized. I chose the second one, and I think it worked out
Well,
well.
yeah, we have enough people who bottle up trauma. All right.
Fair enough.
That's like the rest of the cast.
It was pretty epic. I loved it.
So that was good.
I do love the, because if you think of it like in game, for like a lot of the characters, Grotz would be aware that there was a time where evil literally just didn't exist. And then his dad was like, I can change that.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's literally, it's yeah, it'd be like, I feel like it's like, Grotz feels a lot like Cain and Abel, where he's like, I know the guy that caused all the issues in the world.
Yeah. I've met him.
You know?
He's my dad.
And he's my dad. I'm related to him. His blood courses through my veins. I don't know if I like that. As for if I see Edward and Ciala lasting, I'm going to go with yes.
Oof. Bold claim.
I'm going to make the bold play.
I think
make the bold play.
I don't think they make it more than 6 months.
DJ, what were your thoughts on me pulling the Zone of Truth?
I hated it. It was terrible. It sucked. You're kidding? That was the worst part about it. He confesses his love for you, and you go, I don't know if I believe you.
But this is what I was saying earlier. It was like, it wasn't that she didn't believe him. It was that she fully believed him, and that she didn't trust because she can't trust herself with those things.
You know, I'm sure that's a great emotional maturity level for Renaya and everything like that. Grotz did not take it that way.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Nobody took it that way.
It wasn't a cool move. But
no, it was just fine. It was what you needed to do to make sure that Renaya was okay, which is great. There's just gonna need to be some communication about that, so that Grotz doesn't think that there's trust issues.
100%. And I would have communicated it if you wanted to have laid it on her with that smooch. But then, there was one other thing I was gonna say with it. Yeah. Nice.
The real reason why a DJ thinks that this will last longer than 6 months. She's like, I would just like more of that, please.
One other thing with the Zone of Truth was the way Grotz responded to it. It definitely healed Renaya.
Huh? What?
She healed a little bit.
Well.
You did good.
She's better mentally because now she knows for sure that there's someone who actually loves her.
Fair enough. Cool.
Fair enough. Cool.
Fine, I guess. Whatever. My concern is not your health.
I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let me. Sorry,
Yeah.
My brain has been mush for the last 2 days because I have literally driven like 200 miles around the valley in 2 days.
Well, mush it into not mush.
I'm working on it.
Like Play-Doh.
Let's see. Her knowing that Grotz actually loves her healed her. Yep, cool.
Nice.
What do you want from me in this situation? That's great. I'm so happy that the NPC that you are engaged in this loving relationship can be a strong and healthy relationship.
That was a good answer. I'll take that.
How did you want me to respond to that, Lydia?
I don't know. Have a cool discussion about it, but that's cool. It's nice.
Good talk, guys.
Let's move on.
Drew and I are on the screen just above you guys being like...
Talk about Cather. Talk about Cather. You two had an awesome scene. Vison's sad and gods are cool. You guys do that now.
Are they cool when we have to fight God? Are they cool?
What would you have done if I went Oathbreaker?
Oh,
Everybody
bro.
wants to know.
Oh my gosh, I was so excited.
You were excited for Oathbreaker?
Bro, well, I've told you from the beginning. Let's wind this back a little bit. Let's wind it back 2 years. Okay, back to before the campaign started.
Yeah.
I remember a conversation, way back in Nebraska, sitting on my bed, you and I just chatting, and you're like, yo, I want to play this type of a character. And I was like, hey man, this type of a character means that you will never be happy. You are giving me permission to constantly hurt you. And you were like, I want it. And I was like, are you sure? And you were like, yes, I'm ready. And I was like, are you sure? And you were like, yes. And I was like, okay.
I didn't say it like that.
I was like, okay. Then I said, one of the fun things about this, though, is I think it would be so cool to have a campaign where someone goes Oathbreaker in the campaign. I think that'd be so cool, especially because I don't think of Oathbreaker as going evil. It's just you break your oath. Especially because Oathbreaker in this type of a term would probably be an like a medium place, like a temporary place where you break your Oathbreaker for 3 levels, and then you take a new oath. That would be how it would go down. So I was really excited for Cathar to go Oathbreaker because how metal would that be? Super cool, super rad. And then he gets to take a new oath, and then I get to turn the gods of death against you guys, which would be awesome.
I just want to fight God. I don't care what God it is.
So that would not be awesome.
No, it would have been sick.
It would have been great.
No.
We could fight
Like,
It would
gods.
have been
Now I agree. Oathbreaker, totally metal, would have been really cool. Fighting the gods of death,
Awesome.
I'm less on board for that.
Super
you know?
in. If you kill all 3, you get all of their positions.
Well, I mean,
it's like a if you can 100% a game, you know.
Yeah. You get the
Well,
platinum trophy.
I mean, we were talking about this before, DJ.
I want to fight
How it's you already confirmed that at 20th level we're like minor gods anyway, which means that
Kind of.
20th level, Cather's basically already a minor god of fate anyway.
At 20th level, you qualify to potentially be made into minor gods. Potentially. At that point, you might be powerful enough that some of the weaker gods you could potentially wrestle into giving up their dominion. But good luck with that. That would take like all 4 of you guys wrestling them.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
I'm
I
just saying,
wanna fight God.
20th level is what 20th level is bare minimum
Aaron's ready.
I can do it right now.
for divinity.
You give me enough time and resources, I could kill all of the gods in your pantheon.
I mean, I'm sure you could. Absolutely. We have a new god butcher coming into play.
Okay. At some point in time, I would love to play a character whose entire goal is to just kill gods. I would love to play Kratos. At some point in time in the future, I don't care when.
I would hate that.
I would love
maybe
it.
we'll do like a mini series where you start at like 15th level and you work your way up to like 20th level, but it's in like Theros or something like that.
And then we just start killing gods. I'm in.
And then we just start hunting gods.
So the thing is, right? We can play it in a lot of we can workshop this into a position that is acceptable with you, where it's like my goal is to mess with gods who are stepping out of line.
Fair enough.
And then
You would make such a great. It'd be really interesting. So there is a god. He's a god of the peace domain or the order domain.
Something
I can't
like that.
remember. One of the two. His name is Malkuma. He's one of the ones that was
Yes.
defending the things. But his whole thing is that he just kills people before they can cause problems. It's terrible. It's horrible. But it'd be so cool if you became like a champion of Malkuma, but specifically you are part of like the divine division. Where you just like hunt down like death pack angels and then kill gods.
So my main goal, sorry for you two who aren't a part of this conversation. My favorite type of character is one who would do that without being even related to the gods. So like
Fair enough.
Malkuma's okay with him, but they aren't like friends. where
Malkuma's like, he
he's
does
like, you're doing
what
a
I
good
do,
job.
but better.
And so like I don't have a problem with him. And I would just want to be a zealot barbarian. And the reason that the zealot part works is that he cares so little about the gods of death that they literally can't keep a hold on him. Where he's just like, they're like, oh, he's dead. And he's like, no. And he just leaves.
No,
They're
I'm
like,
not.
This guy is very frustrating to deal with. And he's like, I mean, you just keep doing your job. I'll deal
You
mine.
want to make Cathar's worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
I'm in. I would
A
love
new
it.
rival has stepped into the battlefield.
That would be so good.
A challenger approaches.
Mhm.
Yeah, a challenger approaches. Yeah, exactly.
And he just hunts gods. He takes a level in cleric and chooses God as his chosen enemy.
uses celestials.
Yep, I'm in.
Fair enough.
Could you imagine them being like, they're like, excuse me, sir, what is your profession? And he's like, oh, I'm a hunter. And they're like, oh yeah, what do you hunt? He's like, God.
God.
Doesn't matter which one.
Oh. Yeah, no, all of them.
Whatever suits my fancy. So basically, there's a character in Magic the Gathering called Garuk, or Garuk. I don't know the exact pronunciation. He is my favorite.
I actually know who you're talking
He's
about.
my favorite
Yeah,
planeswalker.
yeah.
Yeah. He's a green one, right?
Yeah, he's green,
Lydia.
although he got corrupted and turned into green black. And he
Green
became
black was
like
my combo.
Garuk Apex Hunter.
Nice.
And his entire purpose was that he was like, I love hunting things, I love nature. But once he got corrupted, hunting normal creatures got too boring. So his chosen prey was other planeswalkers. And so he would just like travel through the multiverse hunting like legendary planeswalkers just because he wanted to.
That has such
I'm in. I'm so in.
What was the story called? Like the greatest hunt or the greatest prey or something like that?
The most dangerous game.
The most dangerous game. Yes, that has such most dangerous game vibes.
It's
awesome.
like hunting normal animals. They have no intelligence, so I hunt people because they know how to attempt to outwit me.
Yeah,
but he's just like, so he fought Jace. For those of you who, I'm so sorry, Lydia, do you know anything about Magic the Gathering?
No.
Well, you're about to learn quite a bit. So there's a character, Jace. He's an illusion wizard. And Jace is like the most annoying good guy in all of the Magic Gathering lore. I don't like Jace. And so Jace, oh God, I hate him. Jace shows up and he's like, Garuk, my girlfriend who's betrayed me 7 times cursed you and now you have a problem. I'm here to fix it. And Garuk goes, I'm gonna kill you now that you have shown yourself in front of me. And Jace is like, this did not end the way that I expected it to. And Garuk almost kills him, and I was so excited. The dude straight up, he's an illusion wizard, and he can like make his illusions like physical. And so at one point in time, Garuk grabs him by the throat, and Jace starts to just make illusions of himself on top of himself to like spread Garuk's hands apart. And just by sheer power of will, no magic involved, he just squeezes harder and shatters the illusions. The dude is rad.
Who is the dragon? The gold one?
Niv, it's not, it's Nico Bolas. That's the one. I'm like, Niv Mizzet. I'm like, no, he's not even Planeswalker.
He's not a Planeswalker.
No, he wants to be dangerous, but, you know, Magic the Gathering is super cool. I would love to play Garuk, the God Killer.
Although Garuk is no longer cursed.
I mean, he's still kind of cursed. He's a little better.
Well, I mean, no, his curse was erased. So
no, it's suppressed. They took the thing that was trapping the demon. Unless they've changed that again.
No. In one of the more recent stories, he's completely.
Dog, that means that Garuk's back. I'm in.
Yeah.
Although I still kind of hope he's a little evil. Because originally he was like, so he fought Jace's girlfriend, who he's an idiot for dating her because she's constantly the worst. And the only reason he did it was he was like, you're messing with nature. You're like a necromancer. I think that's bad. And so they fought. He was so winning. And then she cursed him, and then everyone was sad. Yeah, it was great. But it's good to hear that he's finally better, because originally they just stuck the thing that was like suppressing the planeswalker powers of some demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the one.
Yeah.
And so he was still like kind of cursed, but that's why he let Jace go, because he was like, I have some control over my options and actions and choices, but I don't know, I might kill you if you show up here again. But it's good to hear that he's back. I love it. The next set Garuk's in, I'm playing. I'm there. He's rad.
I'm dropping my 500.
He just has
to get back
all of the
into
other
it.
planeswalkers. They're like, I use magic. Garuk just has an axe.
He's just that good.
He's like, I could summon monsters, and I do, because I'm a nature guy. But that's only because I'm the apex predator. It isn't even magic.
He's like Toto.
Exactly.
Like, is what it is.
I'm so in.
I could use my curse energy, but why would I waste my time with that when I could just
punch you? Look, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. All right.
Garuk is the one that plans to punch people in the mouth.
Absolutely. That's Garuk, and that's like my favorite character archetype. So thank you for listening to me ramble about something that has zero relevance to most of your guys' lives again. Lydia, how you doing?
Here she comes. She's getting there.
I'm good.
Good to hear.
So now that you've had time to think, how would you have liked me to react to healing Renaya?
You know, you just keep being you, DJ. Never change. Never change.
Never
DJ.
See, I don't feel like that's how you actually feel.
As answer your question, Maz, yes, Toto, the band, they are clerics capable of blessing weather. They call down rain in places. You know that part. Thanks, DJ, for continuing your song. Oh man, guys, just so you know, we have a little under 20 minutes to fill. What do y'all want to talk
under
about?
20 minutes.
I suppose this is a question. People in the chat, this is the best possible time if you have questions to ask us to ask them.
Sure.
This is your chance. So if you have anything, please, we will use it to fill our 18 minutes of time or longer. Until any questions show up. Oh, DJ, how long is the time skip? Have you confirmed how long it is?
3 years.
3 years.
3
Follow-up
years.
question. I believe I know the answer. How much are we leveling up in that time?
3 levels.
In that time, 2 levels.
2 levels.
2 levels.
Yeah, you'll be
Two
level
levels.
12 when you come back.
Sick.
Man.
Only 3 levels away from immortality for Tarak.
Yep. And it will be interesting because about the last year or so of the time skip, you guys won't have interacted with each other.
Sick.
So it'll be like a good old family reunion. Haven't seen each other in a year.
I'm
at
so
least.
excited to build. I need to come up with a good name for it.
The base.
Yeah.
That'd be fair.
The Citadel.
The Citadel. I was just talking about the Rick and Morty Citadel.
I mean,
It's terrible.
But
Mm.
effective.
I mean, fair. Let's see names for it. It could be
This is a
the
good question.
monastery.
Yeah, what would you guys name the home base?
The temple.
I don't know. I've kind of really just left that to you. That's kind of your domain, my guy.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, I'm building it, but I'm building it so all of us have spaces in it.
Yeah, but but also like the last time that me and Drew were put in charge of coming up with names, you didn't like it at all.
I mean, yeah, but that was still the one that we went with as one of your guys's.
Yeah, but then you just complained about it.
No, I was advocating for it. I'm like, I think that this is the best one that we have.
Name it the Scarlet Base.
I don't know. I'm not the best with
Scarlet.
names.
I mean, that's fine. They don't have to be like
Okay.
everyone's favorite, but like, so like when I think of a base name, like there's a lot of different types of it. It could be like a multi-word phrase, like Gambit's Keep. That would be one that wouldn't be bad.
That's
like
actually
that.
pretty good.
That is actually pretty good.
Gambit's Keep rolls off the tongue, but like you could also go like when I think of Gambit, I think of a gamble, which makes me think of poker. So you could do something along those like you could pull some random gambling term out and call it that.
You could rip off DC and call it the Tower of Fate.
Yeah, something
Titan's
like that.
Tower.
Yeah, the Titan's Tower. We just make it in the form of big T, which also there is no way that any, like, oh geez, oh my god, what are they called?
Architect.
I'm like archaeologist. Nope, that's not it. There's no way that any architect signed off on that.
Well,
You'd
the
be
architects don't have to
surprised.
sign off on it. It's the engineers that have to sign off on it.
There's
You'd
no
be
way that
architect just
engineers
builds
sign
whatever
off
he
on
wants
it.
and goes,
There
yeah,
are
I
some
think it will work. And then they send it to an engineer, and the engineer's like, no, this doesn't work.
No architect would even ask for that. Like they
No,
they
See,
would
ours will
want-
be shaped
was
like an F.
Yep.
Ours will be
it's
shaped like an
even
F, which
worse.
is even better.
See, Aaron, I think you'd be surprised because there are some real funky buildings here in the world.
Oh, there's some weird buildings, but there isn't one as far as I know that is completely one size at the bottom, goes all the way to the top, and then juts out. Like if there is an earthquake,
They probably would need a little. Well,
If
what you
there-
don't see, Aaron, what you don't see about
like a harsh
the
wind.
Teen Titans Tower, since it's built on a little mounded island, it actually, because you're
It just
saying that they
keeps
should have a
going
flare base.
down.
It keeps going down. It has a fair base, and then they just buried the base.
and and so that way, if an earthquake happens, as they do live on the coast, they're even in more danger.
Exactly. They're the Teen Titans, though. They'll catch it.
Yeah, they can just bench it. It'll be awesome. Community
Hi,
M,
Community
rating us
M.
with 19.
And Raiders.
Hello.
Hi.
We actually don't have a whole lot left in the stream.
Well,
Sorry about
there's
that,
a
but we got
very
like
important
15
question
minutes
for
at least.
Renaya.
This is
It's a very important
I saw
question
it.
for Renaya. Does Rennie completely redecorate Graz's home during the skip?
No.
That depends on if Graz is still a demon prince by the time he comes back.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Question: if Grotz steps down from Demon Prince, who fills the power vacuum?
Rack. No, Pockets does.
Is that
Pockets
an
gets it.
option? Because I'm just saying, if I become a Demon Prince,
Tarak became
I
the
can
demon
use
prince or
my
predator.
knife. Well, I mean, we
Fair.
can. It doesn't have to be pleasure. I can be a Demon Prince of anything. There just needs to be another Demon Prince who controls this specific layer of the abyss.
Fair.
Dog, being a Demon Prince allows me to fight God easier.
That's true.
And
But
then,
being a demon prince is kind of Renaya's thing.
look, no, she can keep it. I don't want anything other than the ability to fight God. You can have all of the other benefits. I don't even need the title. If you just give me a ticket,
You just want the power.
I just want you to be able to go,
Controls this layer.
hey, Tarak, here's a door to Mount Celestia. Go fight God. And I'm in. I'm gone. You can have the rest of the plane. I don't want it. I don't want the goal of Demon Prince is not the end goal for me. I just want to fight God.
Which one?
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Whoever's willing to fight me.
Catherine used the knife.
Maz has an interesting question.
It's
Catherine
not about
use the
being
knife?
celestial. It's about being mortal.
Mm-hmm. So once you
I mean,
kill God and take his
Who's
place,
to say Catherine's mortal?
Catherine's mortal. Me.
Hey,
God.
everybody's immortal until proven.
Yeah,
Catherine has
You're mortal.
continued to come
Catherine
back.
has-
And he's
from the
still
dead.
alive. I think that's even more proof that he's immortal.
By my own approval. Only by my allowance is he still alive.
DJ, as answer to your question of what God would Tarak fight, any god that gets in his way. Doesn't matter who.
Tarak scares me more and more every day.
Good. You should be afraid.
The only
Maybe
reason-
it's true. Maybe I'll just round out this arc by just killing Tarak.
I'm
You know,
in, dog.
Just as a
No,
probationary
The
no.
measure.
thing is, if you kill
no.
Tarak, that brings his soul closer to the gods. That is a danger. You are putting yourself in an interesting position.
Fair
there.
enough.
In a way,
can't.
someone did send it on the episode. Dying is basically immortality. Like, once you've died, you can't do it again. That allows him to wield the Mortem Blade. So, Tarak's soul just shows up, grabs the Mortem Blade, is like, I don't have a lifespan anymore. Ha! And then jumps into heaven. And starts just tearing it up.
I don't think
Jumps
that's
into
quite
heaven.
how that would work.
I'm in.
But
Tarak
I
can't
like
be
it.
held down by conventional means.
This is so terrifying to think of.
Yeah, right? That my end goal is kill gods. That's
Yeah,
all. That's
no.
my end goal for every campaign. I want you to know that.
See,
I
it's,
could be a
and it's funny
cleric.
because it's the exact opposite of most people. Most people are like, "Oh, by the time I'm 20th level, I want to become a god." You know?
No.
No, I don't. I just want to kill them. I don't even want to take their power.
So the
I just
thing
wanna kill
is, the goal is always be on the same level as the gods. The thing is, we go by it by different means. Some people want to bring themselves up to the level of gods. I want them to tear them down to mine.
You know what? You know what I should do? So there are 10 laws of divinity that you cannot break, otherwise you lose your divinity. And one of them is you can't kill another god. So here's what's gonna happen.
I'm not possessed by that rule. I'm mortal.
I know, but here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna see it coming, and they're just gonna be like, "You're a god now." And you just lose all of your power if
That's
you
the
kill
thing.
anyone.
I kill another god, I lose my power of divinity. I still want to kill them.
Yeah, but I don't know if you'll be strong enough to kill them. You know,
Well,
you might get
if I
yeeted.
wasn't strong enough to kill them before I became a god, then what's the point of turning me into a god anyway?
Just as a preventative measure, you know.
But yeah,
Just
and
in
then it
case.
would reverse me back to lower, and now I'm still gunning for it. They could keep doing that every time. It just makes my job easier.
Yeah, fair enough.
After I kill all of the gods, then I'm going off of the Incredibles mentality of once everyone's a superhero, no one will be. So once I kill all the gods, everyone's a god. Like everyone's at that power level because they're at the highest power level. It's just a bunch of free open positions. Like you can just go, just take it up, and then Tarak can kill you next.
I don't like this. This is not okay.
God Killer Tarak is the truest ending, in my opinion.
That is how Tarak becomes the BBEG.
100%. Like, so the best thing is, like, for the first like half of it, people are like, okay, you know, I can kind of get down with this. You know, he's like not bad.
There are the bad ones, you know.
But then it just keeps going, and they're like, guys, I don't know if this is okay.
Like, there has to be like some order to the world. It can't all be
Like,
chaos.
ugh.
Yeah.
And then
it's funny because
Who knows?
we've been joking about Renaya becoming the BBEG for the longest time.
and then the demons and devils have to fight back against and save
Tarak.
the gods.
Yeah.
From
Well, what's
Tarak.
really crazy, here's what's going to happen. We're going to blow our following's mind. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to be playing this game for 3 or 4 years where you fall in love with these characters. You watch them grow.
Mhm.
And then right at the end, Fate's Gambit becomes the BBEG. And it's the world against Fate's Gambit.
I'm in.
That wouldn't happen.
It would. it's the world against Fate's Gambit, just because they think that Fate's Gambit is still working with Tarak. They're like, we haven't seen Tarak in 30 years.
Yeah.
He's just been killing. We didn't ask him to do this, and they're like, burn the witch, and you're like, I have nothing to do with the gods. I'm Renaya. I've been dating a demon for the past 30 years.
I was supposed to be the one that you guys didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in.
Meanwhile, Cather's in Sunan Raw just playing cards, just like, oh, Tarak's making a mess of things.
Could you
Oh,
imagine
well.
that? Could you imagine Cather is like, oh man, you know, I'm doing my own thing. I'm walking around the plane doing stuff, and then like you just get like one of those terrifying calls from one of your gods where it's like just vocal, and they're like, Cather, we need your help. Someone's coming. He's busted through the door. Oh God! And then it like breaks up, and you're like, what just happened? And then the phone picks up again, and it's like, Cather, I killed your gods.
It just picks up and it's just direct. Gather, I killed your gods.
Most of it was accidental. I
I don't
thought
know
this
what
was a
happened.
different god's house. I broke in.
I honestly
Things
don't
got
remember
messy.
I don't remember how I got here.
I've been stuck in Celestia for the past 30 years. I've just been killing anyone who comes next to me. I don't know
Just
what's
trying to
happening.
get home.
Oh man.
It's just after the campaign's over, you know, but they all of our party members, they have their like their happy ending, quote unquote, and like a year after the campaign's over, like we'll return. It's just like the quest to save Tarak from Mount Celestia.
Yup. The quest to
Where-
save Mount Celestia from Tarak.
From Tarak. Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Whoa, you're blue now.
Lydia, I
Where
can
Fate-
see your
Fate's
warning
Gambit.
signals. You can hop in any time on your opinions on these outcomes.
Sure.
Blue.
Bleh.
See, she gets mad at me
Although
'cause
I'm
I
not
was like,
gonna-
oh, that's cool. And then she doesn't participate in our conversations.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? No, I'm kidding. I just haven't been working on this job because
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, yeah, no, I don't want to overthrow gods. I'm okay. I'd rather just rule the abyss.
Oh yeah, you can do that. I'm just saying that my personal goals.
Oh yeah, you shoot for the
See?
stars.
I love this. Renaya and Gratz are going to become the power couple that go and overthrow Asmodeus.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Dog, I don't care what extraterrestrial threat it is. Even if
Well-
it isn't a threat, Tarak's down to kill it.
You know what I'm really excited about? So,
Tarak
this
is very
campaign-
aggressive for an Oath of Redemption. paladin.
Redemption is for mortals.
I'm really excited because this campaign is so early in the world because we're only like 800 years after the trial. The world's only been around for like 4,000 years, something like that. But we're only we're close to 1,000 years after the events of the trial. So like the Age of Rebirth is really relatively young comparatively to a lot of like traditional stories. So I'm excited to like jump forward like 600 years in the next campaign
Oh, yeah.
and just see how things are way different.
Like,
gonna be
sometimes just a god randomly dies, and they're like, well, that's Tarak.
Yeah.
there he goes. A constellation has disappeared from our sky.
They like literally like preach on it. They're like, so here we see the constellation of Demarius, and they like watch like one star go out, and they're like, oh, and then they all like slowly start like faster and faster blinking out, and it's like, so
It's just Morse
Demarius
code. It says,
was a
"Help
god
me."
of the stars.
But he's now dead.
Oh,
He
man.
was most likely slayed by the god killer Tarak.
Yep. He's just around. We don't know what his deal is.
We don't know why he hates everyone so much. He's just an angry boy.
I have been trying to get across that, like, Tarak just really isn't a fan of people who aren't mortal being on the material plane. Tarak and the Fae, strangely enough, get along very well. Like, as long as the Fae are
They
still
have the same
on...
mentality.
Yeah, they're like, as long as the Fae stay in the Feywild, Tarak's okay with it. Fae step onto the material plane, he treats them the same as he would a celestial demon or devil. It's like...
Yeah.
Honestly, he's even okay with them being there as long as they don't touch other mortal people. If they interact with mortal lives, then Tarak has a problem with it.
Interesting.
So, like, Death Pact Angel, out the window.
I feel like
Nope.
Bro, the Deathpack Angel was sick. I loved that bit of
we're
work.
gonna like get to the end of the campaign, and like it's like basically like the final scene before like the screen goes dark, and like we don't even know what happens is gonna be like Cather and Tarak squaring up.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. I'm down. Oh, but specifically once you get immortality and start to... Because, then again, so once again, like, if it is a god, like, sending their will down to a mortal creature, that's a different situation. Now, if Cather levels up and becomes full demigod, and he's like in immortal, has a spot on Mount Celestia, the Fae hunt him because he's a celestial hanging out on the material plane and he shouldn't be there. Then Tarak's got a problem with it, because then it's not him willingly taking orders from other people, it's him inflicting his own will as a god on mortal creatures. That's where Tarak has a problem with it, where it's like, in Tarak's mind, a god, demon, devil, or fae entering the material plane to inflict their will takes away the free will of mortal creatures. So that he has a problem with.
Very interesting point of view.
Yeah. So and also doesn't have to hold back against immortal creatures on the material plane because they don't actually die.
Nope, they just go back.
They just go back home. So he's like, "Look, I'm not even killing you. Just go away. I just don't want you here." Exactly.
I'm just giving you the express pass on the bus ride.
I am aggressively deporting you from the material plane, and you will not be able to return for the next 100 to 1,000 years.
Oh, that Deathpack Angel, she's out. She's gonzo.
She's like
It's
dead.
No, she's not dead.
Oh, great. I would have felt a little like worse about it.
I feel
She's
like
back in her material.
Good.
like
Back in her
we're
native.
gonna get to 20th level, and because of Tarak, single-handedly, like the number of like incidents revolving around the Fae, like Fiends and Celestials on the material plane, like the percentage is just gonna dramatically drop until Tarak dies of natural causes.
Tarak just finally dies of old age.
Like as soon as Tarak kills the first god, everyone's just like, whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
the first one they're like, it was probably a fluke. The second one, then they're like, okay, this isn't great. The third one, suddenly they have a problem.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Then they're just like, let's just try to avoid this. All right?
Thing.
We don't know what's going on here. Because also, Tarak isn't even a natural, a creature deemed by Lonantari to exist.
No, not at all. I mean, okay, but to be fair, neither are half the things in the world.
I mean,
because they're now orcs are a little different because they are the result of fusing demonic magic with elves. So she probably wouldn't vibe with orcs all that much. But at the same time, Parn Obis, literally just creates monsters full
Yeah.
time. That's his job. Is
That's
just
what he
create
does.
monstrosities. So like, yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of like the idea that it's like the orcs are creatures that were not intended to exist,
No.
and now they're a problem.
Now they're an issue. This is why you don't deviate from the source material.
Exactly. Don't homebrew if you're a god.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Anyway, if there are no other statements, questions, Lydia, do you have any final input? I just wanted to make sure.
Like I hate the three of you.
Drew, do you have any
much.
final input?
I'm scared to see what track.
Has an artificer been introduced, like DMPC or someone functionally one? Probably not.
No,
Not that I can remember.
I think the only
No,
thing
not in this campaign. I think he was meaning like in the world in general. Like, is it like a possibility? And I would say probably not. Maybe next campaign, maybe. But at the moment, like it's mostly going to be like enchanting items as a wizard rather than combining technology and magic.
Gotcha.
we did encounter like those strange robot things in the Thala ones.
Oh yeah, there were those the like metal puppet monsters.
Yeah, but those are they're basically walking enchanted armor.
Okay.
Is basically how you can think of them. Where's that stat block? I can't remember.
Halcyon, when you say would Renaya multi-class any further, are you saying like taking a third class? I want to clarify.
Multi-class
Well,
into
first
wizard.
of all, so Renaya won't take another class, but she is going to go more levels in both cleric and warlock. Yeah,
Gotcha.
no third class. That's a lot. Or I could just try to get one of each class.
I think
To achieve it all.
you should
Go big or go
I
home.
think you still have enough time for that.
if you
We'll see.
did take a third class, I think you should go wizard.
If Renaya took a third class, honestly, she'd probably go rogue.
That's fair.
I saw a fantastic like this is not an unknown thing, but I had never thought a whole bunch about it. A potential multi-class route that was warlock, sorcerer, paladin. Specifically going the like hexblade warlock. The sorcerer type really doesn't matter, and then paladin. So you become like a really good caster if necessary, but you also gain more spell slots to use as a paladin for divine smite. And because you're hexblade warlock, you use charisma for your attack bonus, so you don't have to worry about also having strength. And I was like, that's pretty sick. Kind of gross, but pretty sick. Now, I don't know if the actual strength as you get to late levels maintains, just because you lose out on the high level abilities. But it was an interesting concept, one that I probably will never actually use, but an interesting concept all the same.
Yeah, that stuff's cool. It's cool the ways people combine stuff.
It's rad. So, Drew, does Drew need a crash course on Wizard from you, Maz? I think the opposite question might need to be asked.
Probably the opposite around.
Drew, the Wizard is like
He's
Drew's
give me a
thing.
crash course. Oh, I
Maz,
see.
no,
Yes.
Maz wants me to give him a crash. Well,
Fair
Maz,
enough.
yes,
Oh,
I can
gonna
give you a
need to
crash
give him a
course.
crash course on Wizard.
I can give
yeah.
you a crash course on wizard. We could do so on
Get
Discord.
spells, cast them.
Get
Done.
spells, cast them. Basics.
Got him.
Boom.
I can't find a stat block.
DJ, do you have any final words for us? I don't know if I've already asked you.
All of you are beautiful and rad. Specifically talking to our audience, not the three of you. You
Good to
guys
know.
are amazing.
Not beautiful.
But I have no final thoughts because I didn't have any thoughts to begin with. So
In that case, I'm gonna actually check and see. Yeah. We're gonna end stream today. It's been like a little over 2 hours for us. I would love to raid a person. I've talked about him before. My friend Ryan, also known as Mickey Joe CJR, currently streaming right now.
oh, nice.
And so I would love if you guys could, hey Raiden, Sorry, you came in at the worst time. But yeah,
Alright.
I don't know how to raid people. How do I do that?
You slash raid.
Good.
And then put in the use space username.
Space.
Space username. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. His name has so many strange letters in it.
I can also do it if you need me to.
I need to learn. I think that's it. So we're gonna move over to Mickey Joe CJR. He's currently playing Rogue Legacy 2, which was just released. He is an incredible video game player. So if you want to stop by, give him a follow. I should say plugs. Yes, join our Discord. We have social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We have a website, www.thepaperdungeon.com, where you can get merchandise like this hat that I'm wearing that has our logo on it. And Lydia also has a store, lydiacorinne.com. Did I get it?
Yeah.
For a second I was like,
Good
dot
job.
store, but that's not how it works. Lydia's store, lydiacorinne.com. It's awesome. You can buy merch. You can buy pillows. You can buy shirts.
Pillows.
You can buy other things, or pillows, as you people
Immortals
pronounce
call them.
We are sponsored by Riga Rollers. They're cool dice. You should go buy them. Yes, I think that's everything.
Nice.
I think.
Well done.
You got it.
So please give Ryan a big hello from the Paper Dungeon. I'm going to try to raid them now. So if this doesn't... Oh, I should say, just in case, I don't know how exactly it works. I don't know how much time I have. Will I have a countdown when I try to raid someone?
You'll have some seconds left, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to press this. Good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next week. Join us on Monday for the main campaign. It's going to be awesome. Thank you for stopping by.
Bye.